Good morning. Welcome to NMMA's State of the Industry. And while our gatherings this year look a little different, this briefing will be back in person next year at the all-new 2022 Miami International Boat Show. So save the date and we'll see you there. 2020 has been a year for the history books. And without question, the boating industry has been extremely fortunate. Yeah, we've faced our share of change and challenges, but for the most part, the wind has been at our back. Overall, the outdoor recreation economy has stood tall. It was outpacing the growth of the total US economy before COVID, and it's been one of the few sectors holding up the American economy and surging post-COVID. Essentially, Americans had to decide what was most important in their lives and to their families. And social distancing outdoors, stress relief, health and wellness, all have made the cut. All of the major outdoor recreation activity segments have been on the rise, while many other industries have faced upheaval. Now, the broader marine industry, specifically recreational boating and fishing, remains the single largest contributor to the outdoor recreation economy. And our sector has played a critical role in the economic recovery of our nation as participation and retail sales soared. All told, the industry grew 12% in 2020 and sold more than 310,000 new boats in the US, levels not seen before the Great Recession. So who is buying? Well, a lot more first-timers. 100,000 people bought their very first boat last year, accounting for roughly 30% of all new buyers. And these new boaters and new buyers were also younger and more diverse, encouraging signs for building a stronger pool of next generation boaters. And we still have an enormous opportunity to grow boating, welcome new boaters, and gain more outdoor recreation market share, especially during this period where outdoor recreation is top of mind and the competition for the consumer's time and mind share is limited. Now, digging a bit deeper, we see that last year's sales spikes were spread across every segment. 7 out of the 9 measured categories saw double-digit growth. And it's not just the new boat sales on the rise. We expect to see similar surges in participation and pre-owned boat sales when the 2020 data comes in. While participation boomed and sales reached 310,000 new boats, manufacturing built and shipped over 200,000 boats last year. Now, throughout this pandemic, boat builders and suppliers have had to be very resourceful and resilient. First, they faced pandemic restrictions, then disruptions to supply chains, logistics, and workforce. And now they find themselves in a relentless race to scale up in order to capture unprecedented consumer demand. Our supply chain is simply not as elastic as such unforeseen conditions demand. This means that inventory levels remain about 20% below normal, and that more than half the boat builders are reporting that they're working off an average of 6 months of back orders. Meanwhile, inventory and pipeline headwinds are expected to stick around for much of this year. So it will take time to fully meet the backlog and refill the depleted dealer floor plans. To support the industry in these unprecedented times, NMMA remains focused on 2 areas of critical member value. The first is advocacy, as we begin to work with a new Congress and Biden administration and new state, local, and international governments. Congress has been working on a new round of COVID-19 relief, and our team has been working diligently to ensure the industry's priorities are included in a final package. We also have an opportunity to address trade and tariff issues that have been weighing on the industry for years, including the European Union's 25% retaliatory tariff on American-made boats. Returning to free and fair trade with the EU will further increase the growth potential for our American-made boat brands, and it is a top NMMA priority. As part of the economic recovery, Congress and the administration are also gearing up to assemble a robust infrastructure package, and will be at the table to secure funding for vital boating access and infrastructure projects across the country. We also must remain vigilant to potential threats coming at the industry, especially around business and environmental regulations and some greater scrutiny on corporate social responsibility practices. Several states and local governments across the country are attempting to restrict boating access and activities, and we expect more to follow suit. Fast-growing categories like wake surfing and towboats have received the brunt of the scrutiny, but any loss of boating access is a loss for all segments. So I urge everyone in the marine industry to become a vocal champion for boating access. It is critical that we rally together to push back on the efforts to limit any boating access. To ensure policymakers support access and a business growth agenda, we are continuing to deploy and bolster all the tools in our advocacy toolbox, from traditional lobbying to PR to grassroots mobilization and coalition building to growing the boat pack. Having a well-oiled advocacy machine is essential to our success, and in my experience, the most critical component for any successful trade advocacy effort has and always will be robust industry member engagement. And there's no better place for stakeholders to continue or begin their advocacy engagement than joining us at this year's virtual American Boating Congress, which will be held on April 21st to 22nd. We have a great lineup featuring discussions with members of Congress, representatives from the Biden administration, top policy and political experts, and more. We're also bringing back the Hill meeting portion of the agenda, which is one of the most impactful features of ABC. While we will be meeting with members of Congress and their staff virtually, I'm confident these opportunities will be just as effective as in-person meetings. Now, please note, our virtual Hill meetings are only open to Boat Pack contributors. So if you want to learn more about becoming a Boat Pack supporter, please contact our advocacy team. The second area of NMMA's focus is expanding recreational boating's overall consumer market share. Now, ever since we launched the New York Boat Show over 100 years ago, NMMA has been in the market expansion business. And our ongoing efforts will be rooted in the integration of experiential consumer boat shows, Discover Boating's marketing campaigns, and our educational content on social and digital channels as we engage today's rapidly changing consumer and tomorrow's digital native. There is already a tremendous amount of results-driven work underway to maintain current momentum through consumer content, PR, email, social, all with the goal of engaging the next generation of boater and helping connect them with manufacturers when they're ready to shop. Central to our market expansion strategy is uniting Discover Boating, the industry marketing campaign powered by NMMA and MRAA, with our industry-owned boat shows to deliver the best, most seamless consumer experience. This integration will allow us to be louder and more impactful while eliminating brand fragmentation in markets and creating a powerful call to action. This brand evolution will make Discover Boating one of the best recognized industry-centric brands out there, on par with Go RVing, and help us attract and engage more consumers. We're on track to fully launch the Discover Boating brand across all the industry-owned digital platforms and boat shows in early 2022. Now, speaking of shows, as you all know, we needed to put our winter show schedule on pause due to the pandemic. And I've heard some misinformed false rumors about the future of NMA's role in producing boat shows. So let me be clear. NMA boat shows are not going anywhere, and we are not exiting the boat show business. In fact, we're doing just the opposite. We are preparing to be back 100% in the fall, and we're excited to resume our full 2022 schedule as we launch all of our shows under the Discover Boating banner, as I've just shared, bringing a fresh new excitement across all of our major market boat shows. And we're taking the Miami International Boat Show to the next level in partnership with Informa Markets. This joint production of the Miami International Boat Show, Miami Yacht Show, and Super Yacht Miami creates the largest boat show in the world and a true all-city event. The unified event will deliver a seamless and unforgettable experience for our exhibitors, for consumer attendees, and everyone involved for decades to come. And with better access to everything from transportation to hotels and new entertainment. The new Miami International Boat Show will leverage every aspect of Miami's world-class venues to showcase the very best in boating. In many ways, the disruption of our shows has given NMMA the unique opportunity to reposition our industry assets, both digital and in person, for when boating sees its competition return in 2022. And stiff competition for the consumer's time and mindshare will surely return, and NMMA will be ready. To keep our momentum going as we lay this foundation, we're excited to announce Discover Boating will be aligning with Take Me Fishing Again for the Get On Board campaign. We'll continue to partner with RBFF and MRAA on the industry-wide campaign launched last summer that invited more Americans to take to the water. And Stephanie Batalaro will be sharing more details in just a few minutes on the Get On Board efforts kicking off this spring. Without a doubt, recreational boating is facing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to refill our consumer pipelines and attract the boater of the future. We know that building strong relationships with policymakers is critical to positioning our industry for growth. And we know that reaching consumers through Discover Boating and NMMA boat shows is of utmost importance to retaining existing boaters and attracting boaters to be. These strategies will ensure a healthy industry in the years to come. Let's remember that recreational boating is also not just any industry or lifestyle. It's your favorite place on the water to swim or fishing hole. It's a dominant must-have American industry. It's a vital economic engine. And it's an outdoor recreation activity that millions of Americans were drawn to during a critical time in world history. We are the stewards and caretakers of this great American pastime. And in the year ahead, NMMA stands ready to share boating's inspiring lifestyle story, support your business, and advocate to achieve the full power and promise of this incredible industry.